environment.
Mm. And I can't go without saying something about what's happening to Aussie in Victoria, because sustainable schools kind of started in Victoria. Aussie in Victoria has been doing very well, and I won't name any particular people in the audience, but I was talking with a few people before, and it's across something like 47% of schools in Victoria, and supported under the previous Liberal government, and as far as we know is now going to be discontinued under the current Labor government. Who've got an agenda for climate change, bringing back climate change in Victoria. So if there's one thing he wanted to do at a state level, but I think it's a national issue because we're one of the few left, write to the Minister Neville, Lisa Neville, and say why is it being defunded under the Labor government in Victoria? Quite astonishing, really, and another example of that top-down stuff. Sarah.
Just following on from that, Sarah Houseman, VAEE. So
can people hear Sarah?
Victorian chapter of AYCC.
Yeah. Yeah, come up, Sarah.
Yeah?
Yeah, come around here.
Hi, Sarah Houseman here from VAEE, which is the Victorian chapter of A²E². We do want a bit of a call to arms to support the further funding of ResourceSmart Schools in Victoria, and so I'm really speaking to Victorians, but any other support is appreciated. And if it's possible to use this network, we will be putting together communications to invite local government, but tertiary sector would be brilliant, to send to Minister Neville and also to the Education Department, who really have said no interest in supporting this further. So we've only got the Education Department to ask them if they can use monies from the Sustainability Fund, which is being kept fairly intact at the moment, we understand, so that Victoria keeps their AAA rating. So instead of committing it as it was committed to into the community to use that levy from the pollution waste levy, it's actually being kept in a bank somewhere. Mm. So that's part of, we know the money is there is what we're saying, it's not impossible. And once the message goes out, which will go out tomorrow to all schools, telling them that this is not going to be funded.
So we'll put that up on our sustainable website.
I got into too much detail,
that's all right.
But passionate about it at the moment.
But I actually think it's a national level, because this has been defunded in a lot of states, and Victoria was the line. And when we went back to a Labor government, we thought, well, at least it will continue here. Great programs, lots of infrastructure, lots of trained people, a base for relaunching it across Australia at some stage. But we need a call to arms, as Sarah said.
And just jumping on that, like when we talk about where business students and things can learn as well, my experience is education sustainability is something that a lot of young people are passionate about. And you get young people who, really want to take on the biggest fossil fuel projects that are being built in the country, or change national policy around renewables. But actually a starting point for a lot of people is, I just want the next generation of young people to learn about this. Or I want to go and become a presenter in a high school, or I want to mentor a school group to do a sustainability project. So this sort of advocacy can actually be a really great way to get people involved. Like, how can we get better funding for high school program, or how can you get involved in like a community group schools program like AYCC Switched On Schools? I find is actually the majority of young people who want to get active on this start at wanting to educate their peers.
Great. We're going to have to call that to a close there.
No
but
worries.
I'd like you all again to thank Kirsty, if you will, and people who